So let's start out with something a little bit fun. And I wanted to take a quick look back at something because this is something I found on YouTube. Folks, you can go out there and find it. Donald Trump is finished. Super deluxe cuts. And it is absolutely hilarious. And if you go watch the YouTube video, which obviously you won't be able to see on the air here, but it shows you the dates when each individual comment was made. And they literally start in January and February of 2017. And they go from there, and you'll eventually hear when they get around to December 2017. But this is just hilarious. So this is the super deluxe cuts of Donald Trump is finished. Let's roll it.
Donald Trump's done. He's done. There's no question about that. He's done.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Today is a turning point. Today was historically bad for President Trump.
Today was a turning point.
A turning point.
We're at a turning point here.
The beginning of the end for the Trump presidency.
February
the
2017.
Of the end.
And breaking news.
We have another bombshell.
Mike Pence might have to assume the office of the presidency.
The call for impeachment.
Rumblings of the word impeachment.
Breaking news.
Another bombshell out of the White House.
I believe this is the beginning of the end.
I do too.
It's really the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
He may be feeling the walls closing in on him.
All the walls closing in on him.
The walls closing in on him.
Breaking news, a new bombshell.
One astrologer says this means the beginning of the end for President Donald Trump.
The beginning of the end of the Trump presidency.
Trump will resign.
Trump is going to resign.
Is this the tipping point? I know we've said it over and over.
You think this is a tipping point?
And over and over.
This is a tipping point.
And over and over.
Breaking news, President Trump off the rails.
It was the beginning of the end today.
The beginning of the end.
It reminds me a lot of the last days of Nixon.
Breaking news tonight, new bombshell.
This is the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
The walls are closing in.
The walls closing in.
The wall's closing in.
Breaking overnight bombshell.
This is a very dramatic day, and I think it might be near a tipping point. Do you think this is a tipping point?
This is unbelievable. This is remarkable. Have you ever seen anything like this?
His presidency is crippled.
December 1st, 2017, you can mark it down. This is the day that everything changed.
We begin with the bombshell.
The beginning of the end?
The beginning of the end.
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 In fact, if this were a football game, we're in the third quarter. May even be the beginning of the end.
We begin tonight with the bombshell.
Donald Trump is in a lot of trouble.
Trump is in trouble.
The president will resign.
Another hour, another bombshell.
This is a tipping point.
Trump's going down.
This president could be impeached.
I do not think the president will serve out his term. Resignation. I don't think this president is going to serve out his term. Mr. Trump will not serve out his term. He will not serve out his term. No way. No how. Breaking news.
Absolute bombshell.
I think Donald Trump is in trouble.
Donald Trump is not. He's done. And it's over.
It's over.
The walls closing in.
The walls closing in.
This is going to be the Achilles heel.
Breaking news tonight. I expect Trump to depart.
This week will be the watershed week. Trump is in big trouble.
Trump's in a lot of trouble.
It's a sign of a terrified old man who feels the
Walls
Closing in.
The walls
are increasingly
Closing in on him.
Tonight, the walls
are closing in.
today changed everything. This is the beginning of the end.
today the biggest.
Tipping point for the Trump administration.
What a historic day. The bombshells, they fell.
It's entropy and it's crumbling internally.
He's underwater. He feels
The walls closing in.
Could his testimony be a turning point?
We may be at a tipping point.
It's the beginning of
The end.
The beginning
Of the end.
Another bombshell.
bombshell. Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
This is a bombshell.
It is a bombshell.
I am beginning to resent the word bombshell.
I'm president and you're not.
Exactly.
I'm so pleased to see that all these news writers aren't afraid to just pull out all the tired metaphors and trite sayings. I mean, is anybody putting any effort into cleverly writing about this? Because it's the same thing. Walls closing in.
What you can
over
see
and
there-
over and over.
They're just
Tipping
repeating.
point.
Yeah, they're talking points, right? And they've been the same talking points the whole time.
Expressed the exact same way.
Right, for 2 years. It's been the beginning of the end. The walls have been closed. At what point do the walls close in?
You know what's scary for the Democrats?
Uh-huh.
Right now, if there was an election, who would beat Trump?
Nobody. Nobody could beat the guy right now, I don't think.
And I don't think.
Oh,
in
you
the
know
next
what? I
year or
bet
so.
you Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Well, anyway, folks, we just want to share that with you because, and I think if you enjoyed that, go out there and watch it on YouTube because it's even more hilarious when you can see the people doing this on television. And this is what they've been doing the whole time. And it's a bunch of canned talking points that they receive and they just regurgitate. I mean, if it were really the beginning of the end, if the walls were really closing in, then surely something would have happened by now. I mean, we heard how in early 2017 they were telling us that the Trump presidency is essentially over at this point. Well, now here we are in 2019 and it's still going on. So, what kind of credibility do these people have with us? Also, think about what they're doing. This is pure propaganda. They're programming you. Remember, a lie repeated often enough becomes the truth, and that's what they're doing. They're just constantly repeating lies. And among the chattering class that can't turn off cable news and other things, those lies are sticking. And that's why we've got people in Washington, D.C. thinking about Trump in one vein, and the whole rest of the country seeing the reality, which is totally different than what the propagandists are telling us. We got some great stuff to share with you on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the next segment, including she's set out your diet plan for you. So she's going to tell you what you're allowed to eat, and we're going to bring that to you. You heard it here first, folks. She's the boss.